Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to Growing Wisdom. Today we're talking about some tips to help you water your containers successfully. So we're in the front of the garden today, and right here in the front of the house I have a lot of plants in containers. We've got some small evergreen trees, I've got this hydrangea, we've got a heuchera down here, and all of these things are grown in pots and they all need water. So a couple of mistakes that people make when they're watering. Number one, a lot of folks overwater their containers. It's much harder to overwater in the heat of summer because things dry out so fast. But you do have to be careful that you don't keep things absolutely soaked in your containers. One problem that people make is sometimes they let things sit in water, and that can be really bad for many plants. Here we have a heuchera plant, and you can see it's grown in a container. Now, I don't like this pot, it's just the pot that I bought it in. So we've put it in a container that's a lot nicer looking. This is a container that we've painted gold, and it just looks nice in the front of the house. If the container didn't have drainage that the pot was in, it would sit in water, and that's a problem. So number one, always make sure your containers have good drainage. The second tip I want to give you about containers, obviously don't let them dry out completely so your plants die, but let the containers get on the drier side before you water them. So here's a hydrangea. This is a plant which loves water, but it doesn't want to be soaking wet all the time. You can see it's beginning to droop just a little bit. This is the time that I like to water it. I also always make sure to actually physically test the soil. Put your finger down a couple of inches and see if it feels dry. If the soil feels moist 1 or 2 inches down, don't water it. Let it dry out a little bit more. Another tip about watering your containers, get something really good to water them with. So here we have something called the Touch and Flow. It's by Dram. And watch the water as it comes out here. It's almost like rain. And you can see how great that is. And why this is really good is it's not going to do much damage to a plant. This wouldn't be good for very small seedlings. It would crush them. But for most container plants, this is wonderful. When to water is also important. Here we are, it's the middle of the day, we're in the shade. This is a good time to water. When I don't want to water is when the plants are in full sunshine, because watering them can burn them. If you're watering in the evening, try not to get the leaves wet, because that promotes disease. If you need to water in the evening when you come home from work, get right under the plant and water very close to the soil. Finally, every other week, water your containers by hand with a little bit of liquid fertilizer. Remember, as you water your containers, you're actually leaching out some of the nutrients, so you want to put it back in there. I don't feed my plants every time I water, but I feed them about every other week. By following these few easy steps, your containers will continue to thrive all season long. Lastly, as it does turn cooler, begin to back off on the watering. Cooler weather, less evaporation, less need to water. How much you're watering in July will definitely not be how much you'll be watering in September. For Growing Wisdom, I'm Dave Epstein. And be sure to check out over 600 videos on the @Growing Wisdom channel on YouTube. Please subscribe.